What she did in those few quiet moments would change everything. But she had no clue her boss was standing right there, watching it all unfold. Most people freeze when they see someone struggling to communicate. They look away, pretend they didn't notice, or wait for someone else to step in. But not Emma. She was just a shy intern on her third week at a major tech company. No one really knew her name yet. She kept her head down, did her work, and tried not to make waves. But when a deaf visitor walked into the lobby looking confused and frustrated, something inside her clicked. Without thinking twice, she walked over and started signing. Her hands moved with confidence she didn't even know she had. The visitor's face lit up instantly. Relief washed over him. Finally, someone understood. What Emma didn't know was that the CEO, David, had just stepped out of the elevator. He was heading to a meeting, but stopped when he saw what was happening. He watched the entire exchange. He saw how Emma smiled warmly, how she made the visitor feel seen, how she went out of her way to help someone everyone else had ignored. And in that moment, David realized something important. This quiet intern had something most people spend years trying to develop: empathy, initiative, real human connection. Let me tell you the full story, because this isn't just about a good deed. It's about what happens when you show up as yourself, even when you think no one's looking. Emma grew up with a deaf younger brother. From the time she was 8 years old, she learned sign language so they could talk without barriers. It became second nature to her, but she never thought of it as anything special. It was just part of her life. When she started her internship at this big company, she didn't mention it on her resume. She didn't think it mattered. She was there to learn about marketing and maybe get her foot in the door. That's it. The company was huge. Hundreds of employees, endless hallways, glass offices, and people in suits, talking about quarterly goals. Emma felt small. She sat at her little desk in the corner, answered emails, organized files, and tried not to bother anyone. Her supervisor was nice, but busy. Her coworkers were polite, but distracted. She felt invisible most days, and honestly, she was okay with that. She didn't want attention. She just wanted to do her job and go home. But on this particular Tuesday afternoon, everything shifted. A man walked into the main lobby. He looked around, clearly searching for someone. The receptionist smiled at him and asked how she could help. He pointed to his ear and shook his head. He pulled out his phone and started typing. The receptionist's smile faded into confusion. She didn't know what to do. She called over a security guard. The guard tried to help, but couldn't understand what the man needed. A small crowd started to form. People whispered. Some pulled out their phones. Others just walked past. Emma was walking by with a stack of folders. She saw the whole thing. Her heart sank. She knew that look on the man's face. She'd seen it on her brother's face 100 times. Frustration, isolation, feeling of being stuck in a room full of people who can't hear you. She didn't think about whether she should step in. She didn't worry about what people would think. She just walked over, set down her folders, and signed. "Hi, I can help you. What do you need?" The man's eyes went wide. He signed back immediately, his whole body relaxing. He explained that he had a meeting scheduled with someone in the partnerships department, but didn't know where to go. Emma nodded, asked for the name, and within seconds she was guiding him through the building. They chatted in sign language the whole way. She asked him about his work. He told her about his startup that creates accessibility tools for the deaf community. She told him about her brother. They laughed. It felt easy, natural. When they got to the right office, the man thanked her over and over. Emma just smiled and said it was no problem. She turned to leave and nearly walked straight into David, the CEO. Her stomach dropped. She'd only seen him once, during her first day orientation. He was standing there with his arms crossed, watching her. She froze. Her mind raced. Did I do something wrong? Am I in trouble? Was I not supposed to leave my desk? David didn't say anything at first. He just looked at her. Then he smiled. Not a polite corporate smile. A real one. He asked her name. She stuttered it out. He asked how long she'd been with the company. She told him 3 weeks. He nodded slowly, like he was thinking something over. Then he said, "That was incredible. Thank you for doing that." Emma didn't know what to say. She mumbled something about it being no big deal, and hurried back to her desk. Her hands were shaking. She thought that was the end of it. Just a weird, awkward moment she'd replay in her head for the next year. But the next morning, she got an email from David. He wanted to meet with her. Her heart nearly stopped. She read the email 5 times. She asked her supervisor if she was in trouble. Her supervisor had no idea what she was talking about. So Emma showed up to his office, palms sweating, trying to figure out what she could have possibly done. David welcomed her in. He didn't waste time. He told her he'd been thinking about the company's approach to accessibility and inclusion. He said they talked about it a lot in meetings, put it in their mission statements. but didn't actually live it. And then he saw her, a shy intern, who didn't hesitate to help someone everyone else ignored. He said that told him more about character than any interview ever could. Then he asked her a question that changed everything. He asked if she'd be interested in helping the company build a real accessibility program, not as an intern, as a full-time employee, leading the project. Emma couldn't believe it. She thought he was joking, but he wasn't. He explained that they'd been talking about hiring someone for this role for months, but couldn't find the right person. And here she was, already doing the work, without being asked. He saw something in her that she didn't even see in herself. She said yes. Of course she said yes. And over the next year, Emma helped transform that company. She trained staff in basic sign language. She worked with the IT team to add accessibility features to their products. She brought in consultants from the deaf community to guide their efforts. She even helped the company partner with the startup that man she helped was running, the one she walked to his meeting that day. And it all started because she didn't walk past someone in need. She didn't wait for permission. She just showed up. Here's the thing. Most people think big opportunities come from doing big things. Applying to the right jobs, networking with the right people, having the perfect resume. And sure, that stuff matters. But sometimes the biggest doors open because of the smallest actions. Because you were kind when no one was watching. Because you used your skills to help someone, even when it wasn't your job. Because you cared. Emma didn't try to impress anyone that day. She wasn't thinking about her career. She just saw someone who needed help and knew she could give it. That's it. But that one moment revealed who she really was. And the right person happened to see it. So if you take anything from this story, let it be this. Don't wait for the big moment to show people what you're made of. Don't hide your skills because you think they don't matter. And don't underestimate the power of just being a decent human being. You never know who's watching. You never know what door might open. And you definitely never know how. One small act of kindness might change your entire life. If this story hit you the way it hit me, you need to see what happens next.